What is success to you, brother?
To me,
Yeah.
peace of mind and $1 billion.
1 billion, 2 billion, 3 billion.
Exactly. What is success to you?
The wealthiest man is the one that wakes up with the least pressure on his chest.
That's good. What about you, Jordan?
I feel like it's having something that you enjoy doing each day. For me, it's creating, spending time with my people. Some people wake up with no will to live, no desire to do anything in their life, and I feel like that's total opposite of success. So having something that you enjoy to do and strive to get better at is what I see.
Nice. That's very well put. Yeah, honestly, for me, because life is like, there's a quote, heavy is the head that wears the crown. And if you want a grand life, you have to have grand problems. So it's a tough balance, trying to have all the nice things in life. If you have like nice cars, yachts, you're always under stress. Like, what if your yacht's in a port that's unsafe today? Or the Lamborghini has this problem, or you know what I mean? So
I don't know what you mean. because understanding that philosophy of mine, I've positioned myself to not have those headaches.
Yeah.
So no, I don't know by experience, but I understand
But you know
theoretically.
what I'm trying to say. Yeah,
I'm messing with you already, bro. This man flew in tired, but he's here grinding, jet lagged. You just came back from LA. How was that, bro?
LA, bro, honestly, not the best experience. Like, beautiful place, but I think it's declined heavily.
Absolutely.
That's how it used to be.
You used to live there, right?
Yeah, I lived in LA for around 3 years, and I started to watch it go in this direction. I left around March of 2020 when the pandemic started, and it was literally riots happening in my neighborhood. People were coming down the street, lighting stuff on fire, throwing stuff at buildings. It was a mess.
It's my first time in US, so it's all very new to me. Miami's beautiful, though.
Miami's the best.
Yeah, Miami's sick. So.
Hey, bro, I know very few people that for the first time land in Miami, get picked up in an Escalade, because bro, he was like, "What are we doing? What are we doing? Tell me what we're doing." I was like, "Brother, I'm not telling you anything. Just pull up.
Just have faith."
And now we're here, bro.
And he brought all the equipment as well. He's just like, bring your signboard. That's it.
Yeah, just bring the name of the show.
All right, guys. So look, both of you guys, your advice has impacted so many young and ambitious people's lives. And in today's video, we hope to perhaps reignite that fire in people to seek their maximum potential with some guidance, and also perhaps go a little bit deeper into both your stories, who you are as people. And to start things off, I want to get really quick into it. There's a lot of ways out there to improve our lives, to reach our full potential. Is there one particular way, or like would you say there's one way, if you had to rank it at the top? What's the number one most crucial thing when it comes to self-improvement? What would you rank as the highest?
I think it's self-belief.
Okay.
Knowing that you can achieve these things that you desire. For me, a lot of people are lacking that, and I lacked that for a long time in my life. And it was once I started to get in that mode that I started to make progress.
Self-belief, it's very true. If you have any limiting beliefs in your head, it's never gonna work.
Those are natural and they'll always come. It's just learning to push past those and prove to yourself that you are capable of achieving those things.
And how do you push past them?
You don't listen to the thoughts in your mind and you do the work anyways. And the small wins show you what's possible,
Nice. What about you? What do you say is the number one? It's hard to say because there's so many. Every day there's like a new kind of improvement hack. There's like cold plunges, meditation, affirmations, law of attraction. Every day is like a new way.
Similar to what you said, but when you look, what is to believe, right? So self-belief. Believing is this idea of having faith in something that you don't know is real. To me, the most important one is self-realization, where you don't have to believe it, you know it to be. So now this idea of leveling up and pursuing something, it's not because you believe and hope that something's going to happen, but you've realized that if you do this, you will receive this. From input, you'll receive a certain output. So you no longer have to live a life of fear because it's not a life of belief, it's a life of realization and certainty. So I agree with you. It's this idea, which I know that's what you were trying to convey, this idea of deep down knowing for sure and coming to that conclusion. So yeah, I'm with you.
Many people are lacking the ability to have that self-realization. So how can you get to that level? What do you think? I mean, you've done it with your show, you've done it in your career. I'm curious how you guys feel about that.
Honestly, for me, it's always a challenge, I think there's a good quote from Alex Hormozi where he's like, you don't build confidence by telling yourself that you are good or you are this or you are that. You get confidence by having a stack of what does he say? A stack of times where you've proven to yourself that you are that type of person. So I guess by the actions that you do daily, you're forming your identity in your mind of who you are as a person. And then it's like a reciprocal feedback loop, because the actions you do decides your identity, but your identity decides the actions you do. So if you work on doing the actions in the beginning, once the identity is formed, you no longer have to rely on your willpower anymore. It's no longer a struggle. When the time hits 5 a.m. and your alarm goes off, you no longer have to push yourself out of bed. Your brain knows it's go time, because that's who you think you are as a person. What about you?
As a man thinketh, so is he.
Yeah.
If you think it, bro, that's the reality of your life. So if you think you're a failure, if you think you're a loser, if you think you're designed to live in a cubicle, then that will be the reality of your life. But if you realize that you can be whatever you want to be, and nothing's holding you back, and nothing's stopping you except you, then once you get out of your own way, the game begins.
Amazing, amazing. All right. So I just mentioned previously about affirmations. Have you guys tried that, and what's your thoughts on that? Because we've all seen the clips, sometimes of people like, they say, I am this, I am wealthy, I am wise, you repeat it in the mirror. Have you guys tried this? What are your thoughts on that?
Everybody has affirmations. Some are positive, some are negative. Ultimately, I feel like an affirmation is the thing that you're repeating in your head over and over and over again.
Whether you know it or not.
You are having it subconsciously if you don't know.
Yeah.
So you should be aware of what these affirmations are and try to be in control of them. But we all have them.
True. The thoughts go on in our heads. Is that something you've done, Luke?
Affirmation comes from the word affirm, which comes from the word to establish, a firm foundation. So affirmation is the foundation of your identity, and you decide what you want to affirm it to be. So upon this firmament, you're going to build your entire identity. So like you said, it's both affirming. You can affirm anything you want. You are the molder of your own mind. So I agree with you. The affirmations are not just a positive or a mantra. It's how do you speak to who you are as a person? How do you perceive yourself to be?
Right.
And I think that is where self-realization comes. It's perceiving that you are not your name. You're not your religion. You're not what other people say about you in the comments section. You're not what your parents believe that you are. You're not what your friends tell you that you are. You're not what you've told yourself that you are.
You're not your thoughts.
You are so much more. But everybody's like, who am I? Well, first name, last name, color.
I'm from here. I like these things.
Those are things about you, but that is not you. Who are you? And people haven't even asked that. So once you identify who you are, which is limitless, then the game begins. Like I said it again.
Yeah, right. That was pretty well put. And the thing is, I'm asking these questions here because you guys, both in your 20s, have made, tens of millions of dollars, super wealthy, and a lot of people watching this strive to reach that kind of wealth at such a young age. So, and like you said right now, millions of people, they never analyze themselves. Mentally, they're mechanical products of the factory of I actually wrote this down for this podcast because it's similar to what you're saying. Mentally, they are mechanical products of the factory of their environment, preoccupied with breakfast, lunch, and dinner, working and sleeping, going here and going there to be entertained. They don't know what or why they are seeking, nor why they never realize complete happiness and lasting satisfaction. By evading the self-analysis that you're talking about, people go on to be robots conditioned by their environment. True self-analysis is the greatest art of progress. It's very much like what you just said right now. Another one that people talk about all the time is meditation. Is that something you guys practice day to day?
Absolutely, but not in the traditional sense of always sitting down and having 10 minutes with the little Calm app on my phone. I found the practice of meditation in doing things that calm me, such as walking, riding my bike, just sitting, reading. Of course, the traditional method of meditation is powerful, but I found it in other ways as well.
Okay. What about you?
Nah.
Nah? Zero, it's not your thing.
It's not that it's not my thing. It's that once you live a life that's in tune, you don't have to enter a state of meditation to get downloads and to receive information. You just operate in a way whereby your receiver of information is clear from all static. You can achieve a life like that. People have to go into the state of meditation because they live in Manhattan with the noise, the sound pollution, the crowds, the chaos,
brain
the
is 1,000
energy, the
miles an hour.
5G, all these different things, these stimulants. No wonder they have to literally unplug themselves fully. But when you constantly live in a state that's mindful of your environment, your energy, you don't have to enter a state of meditation. You live in it.
You know, one thing I like about you, Luke, I feel like mentally, you're very composed. You know, whenever you talk, whenever even I see you off camera, on camera, you're always very calm, very balanced. I feel like you're someone who has really good control of, you know, the things that you're thinking about, good control of your feelings. Is that something that's like innate? Or is that something you have to work on yourself? Or maybe, I don't know, like maybe you do have those thoughts and I don't know about it. Or like you are very, you know what I mean? What is it?
When you say something, make sure it counts for something.
Okay.
If you're going to expend energy talking, make sure that it's valuable.
Right.
If there's nothing to say, just shut the So I just operate in a way where if I have something to say, I say it, and I measure it by 3 metrics. Is it kind? Is it necessary? And is it true?
Yeah.
If it doesn't match all 3 categories, I'll most likely avoid it. It needs to be kind. And kind doesn't mean nice, like how people think kind. Is it necessary? Like, is it the right time to say this? Is it the right context? And is it true? And based off of that 3 metrics is kind of how I operate. So I think, is this kind, necessary, and true before I say something? If I think it filters through that, I voice it. So people need to have filtration systems and understand that the emotions that they feel throughout like a download of information or throughout a conversation or a disagreement, that emotion isn't you.
Yeah.
You are yourself experiencing an emotion. But you can place yourself as a third party viewing the emotion and ask yourself, why am I feeling this way? And is my response to the situation going to be kind? And is how I'm going to approach it necessary? And is what I'm going to say true? Because many times we deceive ourselves into believing that we have the right operation and mindset and that we're on the right side of the problem or the situation or the conversation. And many times we're not. So those are the metrics that I use on a mental basis. Check through.
It's good that you have this kind of system in place. And like what you said, I think it's very true about like, you need to realize like when you think I am angry, it's not that you are angry, but you're experiencing anger. Not that you're engulfed by the emotion. So that's a good mindset shift. What about you? What do you think?
We tend to label these things that happen to us in life as good or bad when they are just happening. And learning to accept them for what they are and not trying to change the reality of the world will bring you more peace than anything else.